Go. Whoa. Okay. All right, I gotta go inside now. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, you might be getting too heavy for this. Yeah. Did you hear that crack? Yeah. Didn't think that day was gonna come. The one who started the zip line. Go inside. Okay, we'll get it fixed up. Head inside. Get the boards. Yeah. Yeah. Can you give me those cans? Huh?
Band-Aid. Band-Aid. What is a Band-Aid? Band-Aid.
Barbie Band-Aid.
Yeah, Bobby Band.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah, did you check that email out?
I checked them both finally. I really liked the I had read the forward and told you I was born in 61, not 62, but the rest of it was thank you. Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
Oh yeah. We made sliders.
Oh man.
Did you see the pictures my aunt dug up?
You know, he does not look as big and scary as he did when I was a little one. He looks like a he looks like a punk is about the best words I can put.
I think he was young in those. One of them he got arrested for, he was working as a mill worker. I think he got arrested for like OUI or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the other one, he got arrested for robbery when he was a laborer somewhere. I forget what it said, but.
And there's also one that I think has been expunged where he was arrested for stealing cattle.
That could, yeah. She'll find it. I'm telling you right now. I mean, what did you think the chances were that she was going to find his arrest records?
0.
Yeah. And
0.
She's got everything. She's got marriage certificate. She's got.
Right.
I've got everything. So I want to talk a little bit about the hand. That story you told. And
the hand.
About the movies when you went to go see them. All right. And so
Jim
yeah.
Jim was his first name. I got Jim. I got to pull up his last name. That was the man that she was dating at the time.
Yeah. And you said he came before Monster.
Yes.
Okay, so
I think he kind of came in between because from what I can get out of my memory, he was there when I was 2, but I was 4 or 5 when I saw this movie, The Hand with the babysitter.
Yeah.
And I just had Jim's last name in my head and it went straight out the damn window.
So I looked
Jim, that was my brother's dad. That was Doug's dad.
Doug's dad. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Jim, damn it. I'll wake up at 2 o'clock and call you when I remember it.
Yeah, or text me, whatever. So all right, in the first chapter, you said your first memory was of Monster in the car,
Right.
and you were 2 or 3 years old. But then in that chapter, you said he came before Monster, and you were 2 or 3 years old. So this is where I'm trying to get the timeline kind of straight. You know what I
Well,
mean?
well, like I said, she had 6 kids between me in 1961, Jamie a year later, Doug a year later, Mary a year and a half after Doug. And Mary's the one she gave up for adoption. And it's just,
So you all right? You obviously belong to the swinger couple. Then you said it was Jamie was second, correct?
yes, Jamie was
And he
second.
was Leotis's true
Yes.
son.
Yes.
Then Doug was born.
Jim Gooch.
Gooch.
Jim Gooch was his name. Gooch, I think.
Okay, I can look into that. If I give that name to my aunt, she'll find him.
Well, he has passed away, and my brother didn't find that side of his family until after his dad had died.
Okay. And that was Jamie you're talking about, the one that.
No, that was Doug.
Doug, and Doug's the alcoholic, correct?
Yes, Doug's the one brother I still have living.
So Mary, the one gave up for adoption, that is Monster's daughter, correct?
No, Mary, Sylvia claimed that she was raped and Mary was a product of rape. But come to find out, Sylvia, and I talked to my grandmother about this. Sylvia lived upstairs in an apartment house, and there were 2 guys that lived downstairs.
Yeah.
And nobody could remember their names, but one of those 2 men that lived downstairs was Mary's father. And Mary actually found her biological father.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even remember Sylvia's name.
Okay.
He does not remember Sylvia at all. So after finding out that Jennifer has no Indian in her, which Bill does, we're now up to 6 kids with 6 different fathers.
So whose child is this Monster? Which one of your
That was Scott and Jennifer.
So those are the last 2.
Yes.
So all right. So let's just this timeline that puts you at least at 4 years old, approximately, when he came into the picture. If that's when the baby started coming from him, correct? I mean, I don't see him being. If he was, as your book said, he was very possessive over his property, which he considered you to be, and Sylvia would fall into that category too, I'm sure. So I don't see.
Okay, I remember Scotty. Scotty was in diapers and still in a crib when we moved to Pomona to duplexes. It was a bunch of duplexes that my Uncle Dennis ran.
Yeah.
And Scotty was still in the crib, so he would have been 1 or 2 years old, if that. And I remember Bill being there because Bill poisoned Buck, our German Shepherd, because anytime that Bill went to put his hands on one of us kids, Buck would get in the way.
Well, that's not in the book.
No, it's not, because I just remembered it.
Well, that's good.
Because Buck disappeared for about 3 or 4 days, and one day I saw him running across the field behind the apartment complex, and he just had foam coming out of his mouth, which now I know meant he probably poisoned him with antifreeze or something like that.
That poison makes you foam. I was reading a Stephen King book where the guy put rat poison in the hamburger for his mother, and her mouth started to foam.
Which one was that? Because I was a Stephen King fan. I literally read it.
I think.
What was it?
Mr. Mercedes.
I haven't read that one. That's one of his newer books then.
Yeah, I've read all his new stuff. I let me show you this. If you're a Stephen King fan, you'll love this. Without a doubt. My card. I'll get you one second. I don't know what. You just take the propane tank and they refill it. 1 second. Let me turn the lights in here because you're gonna love this. Can you hit the switch?
Oh yeah, remember I don't have
Yeah. Oh yeah, Emily.
I know.
Emily took the lamp out. Just shine your light. Oh, there we go. Okay, 1 second here. This is my prized collection. Okay.
Oh my! I read The Stand, Night Shift, Skeleton Crew, It, The Tommy Knockers, Needful Things.
Yeah, that's this whole row here. Now look here.
Oh my Lord!
These are all first editions.
Oh my God! That is awesome.
And then down here.
I don't see Misery up there.
Misery's right here.
You even know exactly where which book is. Yeah, you're a true Stephen King fan.
And these are all his son's books. Joe Hill.
Oh wow!
And most of those are signed.
Didn't King write under a pseudonym?
Yeah,
for a while.
Those are down here. Bachman.
Bachman, yes.
And these are his short stories right here.
I do believe I read that one.
Fury and this Fury, The Long Walk, and all those other ones are in there. Yeah, that's true. You have your card in here, Emily?
Yeah.
All right, so as far as you had that story about Richard in the book, and you said you went to go see this movie, The Hand. Now, I think I'm going to put this as the third chapter because it seems like he predates Monster.
Yes, he does.
So, and I'm thinking that Monster must have come into your life somewhere around 4, according to the timeline.
Well, I don't.
You weren't in diapers.
No, I wasn't. You're right.
And at 2 years old, you would have been.
You're right. I wasn't in diapers. So I had to be at least 3 or 4.
Exactly. And you put yourself at, so your first memory actually is going to see this film in that book. According to the book. Yes.
Yeah.
This was an inconsistency I found at 2 a.m. last night when I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh my God.
The book.
If your wife doesn't slap you upside the head, I'm going to. Please do it.
Yeah. She said, please do it. I'll make sure she records it.
You better quit.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Everything else you do, and you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you ever sleep?
Well, yesterday we took a nap, so that's why I couldn't fall asleep. I love to read, and I've been working on the drawing of Magnum TA. Let me show you that real quick before.
I can't wait to see this.
So it's coming out pretty good. I did 2 sketches, and I liked one better than the other. But I think I'm going to finish this one pretty quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see it real well. That's his face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be him.
And you've got his build right, too. That's...
You see the hook nose on him?
Yep.
Yeah, he had a real hook nose.
I never saw the nose for some reason.
Yeah, he had a hook nose. His nostrils are very long and his nose kind of points down. And I also spoke with Velvet too recently. She's kind of a firecracker.
Kind of.
Mm.
She was on the road with me for 4 years. Are the kids in the room?
They're running through. They're going over to the neighbors to go swimming.
Uh, she had never touched alcohol or men before I met her.
Oh, really?
That didn't last long around me.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to get to know her a little bit better and then pop her the question about interviewing her. But I did get a hold of her about the drawings and the arrangement as far as the drawings are going. So I told her that I'll give the money to you or I'll give the money to Scott, whatever she prefers. And then any excess prints we don't sell will go to you or Scott to sell. So
okay. Yeah, give them to me because I owe her $100 already on photos I've sold, so I can just put it all together. And I'm gonna have our pictures there too. So hopefully, I'd like to send her a decent chunk of change.
Yeah, I told her whatever she feels comfortable with. I know she feels comfortable with you. So I'll just have you that like Cal. I'll sit next to you so you can keep tally of everything.
Well, now see, she's real comfortable with Scotty too because she answered him and didn't answer me.
Yeah,
Which I'm going to get on her butt about that. Have no fear.
she answered me too eventually, and then she was like, "You didn't know who the hell I was." It seemed like she was like, because when I started saying I was the person working with you in DDP yoga, she goes, "All right, now I'm confused." I'm like, "Oh, you clearly haven't heard of it." She goes, "I'm familiar with DDP yoga. Are you him? Or you?" She thought I was Dallas or something weird the way she worded it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So this movie, The Hand, I did some research on it, and what I read was that it was a black and white horror film.
Yes.
Like took place in World War II or something like that, and they were cutting off soldiers.
Wasn't it a magician who got run over by a car and it cut off his hand?
Yeah, there was a couple. The stories there, and they were cutting off multiple people's hands and stuff like that. I don't know, but it said it was made in 1960, so it was an older movie by the time you've seen it.
Yeah, it was at. Now I know this for a fact. It was at a outside theater.
Yeah, like a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah, it was a drive-in movie, and I was in the back seat while my babysitter and the guy who drove us there were making out.
Okay, yeah. And so your babysitter was a girl, so your mom hired her.
Actually, Jim probably hired her.
Okay.
But what was weird is of course I'm watching the movie. I'm not watching them, do sucky face. And when I got home and got laid down in the bed, and just before I started to fall asleep, I could feel that hand on my belly. And the more I fell asleep, the higher it climbed. So I tried to wake back up. Huh?
So it almost like foreshadowed what was to come, kind of. In a way.
In a way. Yeah. Yeah. But when I screamed, Joe, not Jim, Joe Gooch. Joe came into the bedroom and picked me up and cradled me. And I remember this like it was yesterday, and wanting to know, he thought I'd had a nightmare, which of course I had.
Mm-hmm.
But they hadn't taken the babysitter home yet, and they found out that she had taken me to this movie.
Yeah.
And she never babysitted again.
Yeah.
Jim was what little. I mean, that's probably the only thing that I can remember about Jim.
Yeah.
Is he cared about us kids?
Yeah, he was a good man.
Yes.
Now, if I give his name to my aunt, I got a feeling I'm going to find out he wasn't that good a man.
Well, I'm really glad that I'm not on the run and you're not trying to find me.
That's what I told my aunt too. I'm like, she says she hopes she never has to be found by you.
She's something.
She
I
is.
mean, it's so quick. I thought I was good.
Yeah,
She's better than I am.
she's got 17 pages of documents.
Oh,
Marriage,
geez.
marriage certificates, divorce, divorce dates. She's got a bunch of paperwork on your stepdad. She called him. She goes, "This guy's not a good guy. You're having me research." And I'm like, "I know."
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Well, see, we were living. Let me figure out where we were living.
Over to Felix's house with me.
Okay.
But keep an eye on names.
All right.
I think we were living in Goldendale or Yakima.
Wait.
One of the two.
You were born
And
in Goldendale.
Bill was running around with the mafia. And they were stealing cows, which is a hanging offense in most states to this day.
Yeah.
And he got caught, and Sylvia got up on the stand and pointed out, that's his partner, that's his partner, that's his partner. And these were mafia. This was nothing to play with. The next thing I know, and I can't remember his name, but the Black Panthers were taking care of the family, and they moved us in the middle of the night. And I can remember when we got to Pomona, the school was like 6 blocks away, and this guy would walk me to and from school every day.
Well,
And
the Black Panthers were prominent out there because the Black Panthers were who Charlie Manson used as an excuse to start that race, try to start that race war.
yep. And well, I mean, you point your fingers at the mafia, who can protect you except for at that time, and the Black Panthers were really strong at that time. And I'm trying to remember his name because and this is what I can see his face, because one time I had used the N-word, and I really liked this guy, and I didn't understand at the time what that word meant.
Yeah.
And he put me on his lap, and he told me what it meant, and I ended up crying. I never used that word again. Maybe he was the Jim. But anyway, they were with us the whole time we were in Pomona. Then we moved from Pomona to Needles.
Mm-hmm. Now my aunt has him all over Washington State.
Yeah.
I got his birthplace, 2 places he was arrested so far. Now, are you sure he's dead? That's a question
Yes.
he asked.
I was told by my brother that he had died before my brother Doug and I quit talking.
Now, there's no record of his death anywhere.
Really?
Not so far.
Huh.
So unless they threw him in an unmarked grave, I don't.
That very well could be, because he didn't have any family that left alive.
Yeah, well, we've got his father's records. I sent you a picture, I think, of that. My Aunt Cheryl came up with that first thing this morning. His father also did time, and I have the records of that.
Yeah, his father was a drunk too, because his mother, who was also named Carolyn, as his sister's name was Carolyn, used to talk about him drinking so much that he would think he was going to pee in the bathroom, and he would actually be peeing on Bill in his cradle.
I used to pee in weird places too when I was a drunk. Yeah. So I've got
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
So I've got this might be his. grandfather. But my aunt pulled up, and I don't know if this was the, what does this say? It says William Viral Parks from Sutter, California. And
Do you have a birth date?
3/31/13.
That would have to be his father.
Yeah, and it says the wife's name was Vivian Irene Parks.
Yes. That's one of the names I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got paperwork on that too. What-
Okay. Vivian, we were living in Needles,
Mhm.
California, and when you crossed the bridge over the Colorado River,
Yeah.
that was Arizona, and she lived about 5 miles down the road on the right in a mobile home. And of course, Sylvia dropped us off there several times to be babysat. You know, and
Mhm.
the best thing we did is we sat there and watched TV while Bill's mom got drunk and fell asleep.
So her name was Vivian. So that is the
Okay, that yeah. Carolyn was his sister.
Yep. Let's see, it's pretty cool. My aunt, this was tag team between my aunt Cheryl.
She's
my-
something else. I'll tell
and
you what.
My aunt Susan's the one that came up with all this. She has the ancestry.com, but she does all the ancestry for my family reunions and stuff.
Oh, really?
So she does this stuff all the time, but I gave her this as Cole. She goes, I don't know if I can get she's not found anything from Vacaville yet though.
He was supposed to, from what I remember, he was still there in Vacaville when they transferred Manson there.
Yeah, I found records, and it's called the California Medical Facility or something like
Yep.
that. I found that. Okay.
I couldn't believe, number one, they didn't charge him with me because I was 14 and I didn't say no. Well, after you get beat so many times, you don't say no. But at least he never came back to the house.
So the movie, this is what the one that I found.
Right.
I'm wondering if it's really called The Hand or not.
It may be The Magician's Hand.
Okay, let's look that up.
It was black and white, and as I recall, the way his hand got severed was he was in a car wreck and it cut off his hand. And then the next scene was his hand going into his house and he stabbed it with a poker and threw it in the fire and it was not destructible. Now, how's that for going back 60 years?
That's good. I'm trying to figure out the magician.
I had that nightmare for, Lord, probably 15 years. I mean, I would wake up screaming. That was not something I should have seen at 5 years old or 4 years old, however old I was.
Okay, so I can't. Let me see. Wait a minute. I just want to get these details down because this is kind of like the segue, right?
Right.
Do you remember why your father left?
No,
You know,
I don't remember.
I'm gonna try and get that off of divorce.
They probably filed irreparable differences. Is
Mhm.
that the way they phrase it?
Yeah.
Irreconcilable differences. Because the only reason that she married Lee was because my grandfather, when he found out she was pregnant with me, he brought out the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking old school, and I remember my uncle Dennis telling me stories like she had set the house on fire and blamed it on him and Doug, her brothers. And they got beat a lot of times for things she did.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather, that was his baby girl. She could do nothing wrong. When he got fed up with her was when she got pregnant. I believe it was when she got pregnant with Mary. And that's when Mary got put up for adoption. And Mary doesn't realize it to this day, which is part of our problem. She's the lucky one.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not talking middle income. The two people, Les and Jean Hunt, who adopted her, they bought her horses. They lived on a ranch in outside of Seattle. They paid. She has no college debt. They paid for her college and all that, and she still, you know, what's the words I'm looking for? She's still trying to.
I found it.
You did. Was it The Magician's Hand?
No. It's called Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. It's an anthology movie. There were 5 stories in it. Okay.
Okay.
It had Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it. So one story was about a werewolf. The other was called Creeping Vine. One was called Voodoo, which was about a jazz musician. And then
right.
the last one was called Disembodied Hand.
Okay.
And it says, pompous art critic Franklin Marsh seems more concerned with his own devastating wit than its art itself. Painter Eric Landor bears the brunt of one of Marsh's tirades, but gets even tired of being humiliated publicly. He shows Marsh mistakes of the work of a chimpanzee for modern art and subsequently follows him to public speeches, blah, 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 blah. Finally, Marsh retaliates by running Landor over with his car, causing Landor to lose his right hand. Unable to paint anymore, Landor commits suicide. From this moment, Marsh is tormented by the disembodied hand of the artist, which seems immune to fire and any other attempts to contain it. In the last attack, while Marsh is driving, the car crashes and the broken window leads to Marsh's permanent blindness. And it had Christopher Lee in it. That sound about right?
That sounds like, yeah, that's it. The only one that I remember other than that scared me is, do you remember that one about that little jungle doll?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was an anthology too. It was a bunch of stories.
Okay, so this must have been, something that
Oh, Jungle Doll. Wait, time out. Let's see. Voodoo. Susan. Oh, maybe not. It's not this one. Based on.
I thought this was more about a woman.
Yeah, could be. But
and the doll went around killing people, including her.
I think I know what you're talking about. I'll find it at some point. All right, so this looks like this was the right one. It says this came out in 1965, which would have made you 4 years old.
Right.
Okay. So
3 or 4, but I'm wondering how old I was when the incident happened in the car.
I mean, it would make sense that you were a little bit older, and here's why I think that. Because 2 years old, how many people have any lucid memories at 2?
Well, see, that's the thing. I had no lucid memories from 14 backwards.
Yeah, because you suppressed them. But.
And then when everything coming back, I even remember, that my granddad had a blue Ford pickup truck that we used to go cutting wood in, and maybe I wasn't 2 years old.
Well, you would have been in diapers. That's the thing. And for any,
I was not. I was definitely not in diapers.
yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, you got to think about how many people have actual. I mean, even if you were, even suppressing your memories, to have
Right.
memories at 2 years old, that doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, I,
No, I believe you. I have no choice because
I mean, we're putting
everything gets so mixed up in your brain when memories come flooding back.
yeah.
It all kind of juggles in and around, and you got to kind of put it together like a puzzle.
Puzzle, yeah. 4 years old makes sense
Yeah.
for you to remember this incident and the details of a movie to what you did. It wasn't a musician; it was a painter. It's close, but you remembered the fire thing, and this
Yeah.
movie had the fire. The other one that's called The Hand, and that's why I want to get these down because these little details are important. These dates are important. It gives us an accurate timeline as to when things occurred. Because when I get the divorce dates with William Otis, you know what I mean? That's good.
William Otis? You mean
I mean,
Lee Otis?
Lee Otis. Yeah, sorry. It's what's his first name? I forget.
Richard Lee Otis.
Otis, and William is your stepdad.
Well, see, Lee was also adopted. His actual birth name was Miller. Like I said, there is nothing normal about my existence.
She has information on him. I know that. I'm gonna get the 17 pages tomorrow, and I'll be able to. She said she needed a. She was trying to put the puzzle pieces together. She needed to take a break from it, and get fresh perspective in the morning because she had too much information. But she will put it together like a puzzle, like what you're trying to do.
Right.
But what I'm basically trying to do is I want to get your details and the facts of your story correct so I can put it out there better than it got put out there before because it was basically I don't know what John Cosper did if he just edited and went through grammar, but he wasn't double checking things like because you said twice you were 2 or 3 years old. Like on the first page, you said my first memory in flashing lights, right? Then skip over to chapter 4, and I don't know how he didn't catch this. You said this guy came before Monster. You know what I mean? But you said in the first chapter, your very first words, my first memory.
Right.
So it contradicts right there. You know what I mean?
Well, and see that's what
not
happens.
your fault.
Right. When you're remembering things like that, like I said, they get all mixed up and jumbled.
You were throwing shit up onto a page to get it down so you didn't forget it. That's what you were doing. I can see what you were doing, and you were using it, like you said, as a therapy. So you were trying to get everything down that you could remember. And
Right.
what his job was to do is to go through and kind of try and organize those thoughts for you and say, hey, this doesn't drive here. That's what an editor is supposed to do. So when I'm reading your book, I'm constantly looking to see how can we put this in order, so that the story flows correctly.
I got you, and I appreciate you putting that much work into it because
I want it to be perfect. I want it to be perfect. Did you
of course
did I say
OCD much?
Second chapter? Yeah. Second chapter?
Second chapter?
Oh, I wrote a second chapter. I got to send it to you.
Okay.
It's called Swinger Switch at Horse Thief Lake.
Oh my God. I love it.
And the third chapter I'm gonna call Dark Omens, and then I'll call them what is it? What was the name of that story? Dark Omens, and I gotta remember it now. Disembodied Hand.
That's it. That is really weird when you look at it. That was.
Yeah.
Because I was
Think
being accosted as a child, although it was a dream, in my bed.
But it's foreshadowing. So, all right. So this guy, and you gave me his name already. Your mother dated him, and he was your brother So
Doug's.
Doug's.
My
And
brother Doug's.
that's the second child born.
Third.
Third. So
Yeah,
okay,
Jamie's
Jamie,
the-
it's you, Jamie, Doug. So
Yes.
you're that strange guy's name that's in chapter 1 that I already wrote.
Yeah. Gene
You're
Sharp.
Gene Sharps. You're Gene Sharps. Jamie belongs to Leotis,
Yes.
and the third one belongs to
Jim Gooch.
Jim. Yeah, Jim Hooch.
Gooch.
Gooch. The Gooch. The
G.
Gooch.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Gooch.
a Gooch is?
Uh-uh.
It's the space between your butthole and your front parts. That's what they call the Gooch around here.
We used to call it a taint.
A taint, yeah, a grundle.
It a taint. It taint.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it taint.
It taint, yeah, it taint this, it taint that, yeah. Well,
Right.
some people call it the Gooch, some people call it the grundle.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So all right, and then so that means that Monster's Child was number 4 and 5, right? And then
No, 5 and 6.
see, this pushes it. That's why it pushes it so far back, because you got, even if let's say you're 9 months, and 9 months old, and baby 2 gets born, right? If it was
Right.
the day after you got born and she had a full-length pregnancy,
Yeah, it was 5 days after I was born, because my birthday's
you got pregnant, yeah, okay.
yeah, my
So
my
you had
my
9.
birthday is May 5th. Jamie's birthday is May 10th.
Okay. Then if she got pregnant right away again and she had Irish triplets, that puts you at what, 18 months, okay? Then 9, 18, 27 months for baby 3. That's 2 years old right there. 36 months for baby 4, right?
Mary.
And then 45 months for baby 5. Now that's in a perfect world if you're all born within 9 months of each other, that means you're at least 4 years old when he comes onto the picture. At least.
Right.
Okay? So
That makes sense.
that's why this timeline is so important, because then I can accurately say this is when the abuse started and we can line things up. But that also means that the first time that he accosted you with intercourse was later as well. That would push it to about 6, give or take. But we can always check.
Okay.
If you have any memories of things that were going on in the world at that time, that's how we double check these dates. Like if you can think, something that might have happened around then in the world.
Right.
Or something.
Right. Like everybody uses 911 as a date. This happened this year and I was
Yeah, if you can think of something that happened in proximity, or if you were doing something before that would have a timestamp, watching something that would have a timestamp, we can figure it out that way. Exactly. We don't really have to at this point. As long as we have kind of a start and finish point, I can line everything up until that point with marriages and divorce, babies.
Right.
So anyway, so Gooch is in the picture. Do you know why he left? Is there any, or did he just?
He was married.
He was married. Okay, so that relationship was temporary no matter what. He was married.
He was married
while he was having the relationship with
Sylvia. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
So he leaves, and then the next person to have a baby. Oh, thank you. You're eating the green beans. I got a good haul of green beans today.
Mine are starting to come in. I actually got almost a
she's
quart.
eating raw right now. Yeah, she went, crunch.
Right?
Okay, so baby, so we're at Gooch's baby number 3.
Right.
And baby 4 was who?
Unknown man in Portland.
That's the duplex guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you guys moved to Portland with nobody? You just moved there because it was your uncle's duplex?
Oh, no. I'm talking about Mary.
Oh, that's the rape one.
Right, that she claims she was raped, but it was actually the duplex guy. apartment guy. So,
Yeah, that's
as I recall, my grandmother
that
telling me
was your
Sylvia
uncle,
lived upstairs and these two guys lived downstairs.
but that was your uncle's property, you said.
No, the duplex in Pomona was my uncle's property.
Okay, so there's two duplexes.
Yeah,
When did you move to Pomona after this duplex?
we moved to Pomona because she testified against the mafia to get Bill off on rustling charges.
Okay, so she met him before you guys moved into your uncle's place, because it would make sense that she met
Oh
him.
yeah, she was married to him when we moved in there.
Okay, so how do you know how they met? I know that it was because it was through your uncle, pretty much, right?
I believe it was through my uncle because of Carolyn, his wife,
Yeah.
who was Bill's sister.
Okay, so that all makes sense now. So that's how I'm going to segue this last chapter. I mean, I'll kind of describe the movie, and then we'll get into him coming on the scene.
Right.
And then we're going to start the chapter on.
And see, I don't, even to this day, even though I'm remembering 99%, to this day, I don't remember. I know that when the incident happened, when I ran away and slept in a field, I know that Sylvia and Bill were living in the same house. And it was a two-story house, and my room was upstairs. And that was right across the street from one of Sylvia's cousins.
Now you had said when you woke up, your aunt and your uncle were calling your name. Was that was was that Carol? It was Carolyn, and no, sorry, Carol and your uncle, or
I heard
it was your cousins?
I heard everybody, and I was listening for, and I can remember this because now I at this time I was terrified of the dark.
Yeah.
What kid, whether I be 4 or 14, who's terrified of the dark, is going to run away from home and sleep in a field in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, no kid, but a kid that isn't being protected by any parent.
Well, a lot of people have suggested that she was part of this man-boy movement,
Yeah.
and trafficking, because there are so, one, two, three. That's Bill, George Ross, and another George. And the babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, who's gonna hire a male babysitter when you got two girls to babysit?
Yeah.
There's four in her life. And then Bobby Smales, her last husband, who died while she was still married to him, was also a pedophile.
Yeah, I think my Aunt Susan mentioned something about that as well.
And she had somehow conned this alcohol abuse center into believing she had 45 years straight.
Yeah.
Which I know for a fact that's not true.
Yeah.
Because I remember her and her favorite drug at the time was Elavil.
Yeah.
So at the very most, she might have had 20 years straight.
Yeah.
But they had her, running. She was part of the management of this abuse center, and she met her last husband, Bobby Smales, there. This is when she handed over my brother, Scott, to this And I know in no way believe that just because a man is gay makes him a pedophile. It does not. This man just happened to be gay and was a pedophile.
Yeah.
And he gave Scott AIDS. Scott got AIDS at 12 years old.
That's insane.
Well, but he was also a predator.
Yeah.
He went to prison for raping a 5-year-old girl.
Hmm.
And I did my best to be a big sister, but the day that he told me over the phone that it wasn't his fault that he raped this child, they should have never left her alone with him, was the day I cut off communication, because that's telling me right there he holds no responsibility for this. So he's going to do it again.
That was who? I'm sorry.
Scott.
Your brother Scott.
Yep. Bill's first.
He was in jail,
He was in prison.
but he was 12 years old. You said when he died.
No, he was 12 years old when he got AIDS.
Oh. Okay.
He
Okay.
didn't die, and he died of complications from AIDS.
So
And
he went to jail for being a pedophile as well.
Huh?
So he went to jail for being a pedophile.
Yes, he went to prison, not jail, prison.
Do you want me pulling that?
You can pull it if you want to. Put it in there. It's the truth.
Yeah. Listen, I love that about you because this is going to be a fucking really engaging book. And even if I leave out some details of the abuse, because I did read the chapter that was hardest for me to read. I mean, the first chapter was hard to read, with the description. We're very descriptive in it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately,
hard-
I have a bad habit. If I'm telling something, I tell the truth.
That's not a bad habit. I respect everything you wrote in there. The hardest section for me to read is what I read last. You want more orange juice? I read last night about your brother being the first one to the anal intercourse.
Oh God.
No, that was Doug.
I believe that was Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
is a
guys
sound.
performed.
That is a sound you will, if you ever hear it, you will never forget it. It's like I said, that's why I called the book When Rabbits Die, because the only thing that I have ever heard close to it was a rabbit screaming as it was dying. And a lot of people don't realize they do. If they know they're dying, rabbits scream.
They also
And it is
grunt, like if they're mad at you. I didn't know that until I had a rabbit. They're very solitary animals, so
yes,
when they get angry and you're like trying to clean their pen, they'll grunt at you. If they're not, they're not. But now, so you're saying you made that noise on that day with your?
No, I'm saying my brother made that noise on that day.
Wait, so yeah, but you wrote a chapter on your brother anally raping you in front of your stepdad.
He had one choice. He had two choices. He could either do what Bill told him, or he could get the shit beat out of him. And I remember looking back at and I believe it was Jamie, and saying, just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Basically, that may not have been the exact words, but those are things that I truly believe, things like that that happened with Bill. I mean, he used to construct it. And in one part of me, I can totally understand why Jamie blew his brains out. I mean, he carried that guilt with him till the day he died.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. That was the most horrible thing in that whole book that I read. I mean, some of the descriptions were hard to read, but that is the most deplorable of things.
Well, that's what these when you're talking about a pedophile who's got free reign to 5 kids, he's going to
Yep.
do whatever he wants to do.
But he was a career criminal going into this,
That-
not so it's just like, why? How does that go under the radar? I mean, and I know you say, Sylvia, her whole thing was and what is the swinging dick quote? Because you said it to me, not on tape.
She always she always she always put a swinging piece of meat in front of her kids.
Yeah. Okay.
It was more important for her to have somebody in her bed than it was to protect her kids.
Now, do you remember what kind of truck or car you were driving the day that you got pulled over by the police?
No.
No. Okay. I mean,
I know it was a car.
that would just be it. So it was a sedan. All right. That would just be a good description.
A glitch, but I don't know. I don't remember. I
Sure.
don't even remember the colors. The only thing that I really remember is how red this cop's face was and how he was screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, when he looked in the back seat and said, "What's wrong with you, lady?" And he said it, and his face was pulsating red.
Yeah.
Um, that's the main thing that I remember.
Okay. So next chapter, I'm gonna start it by talking about this boyfriend and going to the movies with your babysitter and your boyfriend, and they basically.
You're breaking up really bad for some reason.
Sorry, I'm gonna move into the other room. It's this living room. So I'm gonna start the next chapter. I mean, now that we have the movie pinned down and the date and your age, and we'll start by talking about the only good memory you had of a man besides your grandfather. Which one of my favorite things when we talked is when I said to you, where did your love for wrestling start? You got the biggest grin on your face. My grandpa.
Well, it would. That's why I'm so glad that because when your mind protects you, it doesn't just protect you from the bad; it protects you from the good. It just erases everything.
Yeah.
And when I got my memories back, I got to remember those things,
Mm-hmm.
and I was happy. I was safe, you know.
How often were you at his house?
I was at their house almost every summer.
Yeah, you said they would come get you, and
Well, they would come. I can remember times they had planned to take Jamie or Doug, but when they walked in the door, they'd see a bruise, on me, and they knew Bill was beating us. They did not know to the extremity it was. I mean, my grandmother at 80 years old was still holding guilt for not knowing what Bill had done.
I have
And
two.
that, huh?
I got their names. I got everybody. I've got like such a good history that we're gonna be able to like tell this story so much more full than you were able to tell it the first time.
Right.
I just don't know why. I mean, John Cosper's written it said over 20 books. Why he didn't do a little research?
Between me, you, and a turtle on a fence post, I think he's out to write quantity, not quality.
Yeah. That
Um,
cover is beautiful. I love that.
oh yeah.
And
Well,
the
he
book,
had a friend of his.
because you wrote it. I mean, you're a good writer. It's just when you have a co-author that's basically an editor, make sure you edit it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like,
Right. Well, I mean, I contacted him in December. By March, the book was in print.
yeah. Well, this is gonna take me. I plan it.
I am not looking at a timeline.
Yeah.
Don't even think that the way you're doing things, I like the way you're doing things. I mean, you've got confirmation and all of that, and you got like Bill's criminal history, and you're putting a lot more about my life in it than what the other book had done. And then we got to run into wrestling.
Yeah, we're not even. That's gonna take a while. But the
Yep.
best part is we're gonna have pictures like drawn art throughout the whole book. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So that's what I'm really excited about because I mean we're gonna be able to use Velvet's picture that I drew. We're gonna be able to use Judy's picture. Judy already agreed to do a interview. I got to talk to Velvet broach it about some point. I don't know if she's gonna want money to do it or not. So.
No, she's not going to want money to do it. I can tell you that now.
All right. But we'll be able to use her picture. We're going to be able to use Terry's picture. We're going to be able to use Leilani Kai's picture, Patricia's picture. And
Oh, that's great.
I want to do, I know, now this is something that I have to talk to you about. Roddy Piper. I don't know what you wrote about in that book. I haven't gotten there yet.
Our relationship is not for public.
Okay. That's what I was asking.
Yes,
but
thank you.
Think on it. I know.
Well, no, because and I'm very, very firm on this.
That's what Scotty said. He said you.
Piper did not tell me, and a lot of the boys I'm finding didn't know that he was married to Kitty in '78.
So he was cheating with you.
He was, well, at one point he had both me and Kitty going. Then he married Kitty, but he didn't tell anybody. And the only thing that's going to come out of putting his name out there is it's going to hurt Kitty. It's going to hurt Colt. It's going to hurt Teal. And it's not worth it to me. I mean,
No.
I'm serious. You could put $1 million in front of me right now.
I get.
Say, if you tell this story, I'll give you this $1 million, and it's not worth it. I do not want
any romantic interest.
We can tell the friend stories. Mm-hmm. You know, like when I hit the car, and I don't know if I told you this one or not.
We'll get to it when we get to it. But I wanted to kind of touch on exactly because I know just from the way it's being framed to me, that there was some romantic interest there. And I
was in love with him. No ifs, ands, or doubts. When it says in the book that one of the wrestlers, I moved in with one of the wrestlers for a couple of weeks before I went to Lillian. Piper's the one that I lived with.
Yeah.
But I won't put that out there because I don't see any good coming out of that.
Yeah.
You know, but there are some friend stories like the car wreck and all of that I can tell. You know, the Hulk Hogan bit, which is a great story.
Yeah, that stuff. I mean, if you want to leave that alone, we can leave that alone. It's really just up to, and I know you're a big. I mean, it's just so long ago at this point. I mean, that's the only thing I was thinking. Like, at this, you're talking what 1980.
Talking 1978.
At this point, like, it's water long under the bridge. That's why I am. It's so under the bridge. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, he's been dead now. Well, gosh, but 2016, correct?
Yep, he's been gone 9 years, and he died on July 31st.
And he died of a heart attack.
He died exactly the way he was on that that show where the psychic comes in and tells you about the ghost in your house and all that.
Oh, yeah. That Long
And
Island Museum.
yeah, that's it. And she asked him. Somehow they got around to the question about how he wanted to die, and he said he wanted to die in his sleep, and I'll be damned if he didn't.
But he wasn't a steroid guy.
No, but Piper gave everything to the business. I mean, from the time he was 17 through the Pat Patterson thing, the whole 9 yards. And he left home about the same time I did. And he was in the same position. It was leave or die. You know, because his father was beating the hell out of him too.
And you guys were you only lived together for 2 months?
If that.
That's like
I want to say it was more like 2 or 3 weeks.
that's a blip on the radar. That's the thing.
Right? I know. But
we could even frame it that it wasn't at the same time. We don't have to. We leave it alone. But I mean, it seems like it. I mean, such a small part of what that story would entail.
right.
You know what I mean? We could hint at it, but not tell it too. That's the. But I mean, it's gonna sound it with your admiration anyway. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Let
me well, let's do it this way. You write it out, and I'll pull a Queen Lashida on you and say whether or not I want it in the book.
I just think, for wrestling history, that puts you that. I mean, and not that you're not going to be all over with all the biggest names ever. And I think one of the best stories we're going to be able to tell too. Part of that is the Harley Race slamming the Andre the Giant thing, debunking the myth that Terry Hogan was the first person to do it. And if you watch like the Andre the Giant documentary, if you watch that, the one that they base all of those A&E biographies off of. That's what they like. Hogan was the first one.
No, he was not.
I know. And to get over the Ultimate Warrior was the second one. And then it became like you made it if you slammed the Giant.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, shoot, now I can't remember who slammed it. Was it Roddy that slammed him?
Harley Race.
That's it. Harley. You're right.
Yeah. So
sometimes the information goes in and out, but
well, so it's good. So now you have enough time. Like I wanted to bring it up because this gives you enough time to kind of stew on what exactly. But honest to God, in my opinion, that is so long ago and it was such a short time. It doesn't seem like anybody's feelings, because you didn't even run into Teal Piper. You don't even know Teal.
I don't know Teal. I've seen Teal.
She wasn't born at that time either, I don't think. She's like
no, she wasn't.
So
Teal wasn't born until 81, I believe.
So
because that's when me and Piper and Offa and Sika were sitting at the table outside the Hilton discussing the fact, and this is when I found out he was married. And you talk about doing a work.
Yeah.
He's sitting there talking about what he wants to name his firstborn. And I'm going firstborn in my brain. Firstborn. What should I name my firstborn? That's when I found out Piper was married.
Yeah. And that's 3 years after you guys had any sort of, you guys were living together. So.
Right. Well, we weren't really living together. I stopped by for a couple weeks, and Piper did everything he could to talk me out of going to Moolah's.
Yeah.
He told me, he said, you can stay here as long as you need to get on your feet. Please don't go to Moolah's. And
was he married? He wasn't married at that point.
Yes, he was. He got married in 1978. When I went to Moolah's, it was 1980.
Okay. Okay. But you stayed there in 1978, you're saying, or in 80?
No, I stayed there in 1980. 80, I believe 1980, when I was leaving Oregon to go to Columbia, and I landed in Charlotte instead of Columbia, and I spent a couple weeks there. And I didn't even know then that he was married because I wouldn't have stopped.
Yeah.
You know, I've been cheated on in my life, and it is not a good feeling to find out that your husband is, and this is probably the biggest problem that I have.
All right, you ready for this?
82.
Married 82.
Are you kidding me?
No. So you're off the hook. I just quick look. 82.
Where the hell did I get the idea he was married in 78? He knew, I know for a fact, he knew Kitty in 78 when Piper was in Portland.
He might have known her, but that doesn't mean he was married to her.
Yeah, you're right. I'm off the hook.
So that makes the book juicier. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're out to sell books. The juicier the book is, the better. And
Right.
Piper is certainly a name that people want to read about.
Oh my Lord, I can't believe that you found that.
2 seconds. That's Wikipedia, but you're talking. I mean, that's probably accurate. He's a pretty big star, so you know what I mean. It's not like
I want to know where I got the idea he was married in 78.
I can put my Aunt Sue on it, but I don't know if she'll be able to come up with those records.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it. 1982. Yeah, you're right. I'm off the hook.
It says 84, I think. Oh, 82. Yeah, 82. 4 years later. So, and then Teal Piper was born. He was born the same year as me. I said she was the same age as me, 85. So that makes sense.
Then who was Piper talking about? Okay, she may have been born in 85. What was her birthday?
Second. June 7th.
June 7th of 80.
Yeah.
Of 85.
Yeah.
June 6th. Back 3 months. June is 6. December, November, October. But we couldn't have talked about it after September of 84 because I never went back to wrestling. It had to be my last run in Puerto Rico.
Well, that would make sense because she was born in 85. So if you talk to him in 84 about it, and she was pregnant 9 months before then, June.
Yep.
So that's the 6th month of 85. That would put it back to to
September or October, because it's never exactly 9 months.
Yeah, so that would make sense.
And I know that for a fact that this is a memory that is not one of those, recalled. This is something that I kept. Wow.
Well, this is perfect. I'm glad we settled that.
Yeah, aren't you so happy you get to write about Piper now?
Yeah. No feelings will be hurt.
Sounds great. All right, let's do it then.
All right, so I'm gonna start working on this. I'm glad we figured out what movie. That was the big question. And I'm gonna go through that story again, but I have your version of it on here. I'm gonna base it pretty much
right
there. And
I can still remember Joe holding me.
Yeah.
I really can. I mean, he was pissed.
Yeah. So it went from Joe. It was Joe, and then there was the guy in the duplex. We got that story.
And then there was Bill.
And then there was Bill. And
with
Bill,
Scotty and Jennifer.
but that's got to be its own, like, because I want to talk about his background. I want to get into who he was before he got to you guys, really
Right.
up. And before that, right next to that chapter on the left-hand side is going to be his mugshot. You can pick which one
Oh,
you think is prettier.
that mugshot. He looks like a wuss. He doesn't. I remember him being this huge, guy,
Well,
but
he's
I
200
was 4
pounds,
years old.
180. So he's about my size. I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'8". I weigh between, on any given day, usually I'm about 190 to 195. Right today I weighed 189. So he's pretty much exactly same size as me.
But I remember he was, and this was probably because I was, this little kid. But he doesn't look half as dangerous as I remember him looking.
Well, he had to have been dangerous because he got arrested a lot. So.
Oh, well, he was a crook, which was Sylvia's. That she went after the bad boys.
Was Otis a bad guy or no? Is he gonna have a record?
That I don't know. I can't honestly answer that yes or no.
She will tell me. I'll find that out. I mean, she's being really thorough about it.
Well, and you can find out that Lee Otis
It doesn't really
married a woman, and the woman he married was arrested for kidnapping, and she kidnapped her own boss.
Oh yeah, this was after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that because you came and you went and stayed with him for a summer.
Oh, that damn fool. There's so much. My employees called him Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Because he found a pair of sunglasses and a black leather coat, both which happened to be women's sunglasses and a woman's leather coat. But my employees said, "Oh, here comes Elvis," and they didn't know I was in the room.
Yeah.
And and they turned around and they froze. I said, "Y'all been calling him that since he come here." I wasn't pissed then. I'm not pissed now.
No, that was when you owned your store.
Thrift shop.
So he came around a lot.
Mm-mm. He came down, and this was while his wife was in prison. He came down when I was pregnant with John.
Okay.
9th month, the night of that I didn't give birth to John at night. I gave him birth to him on Sunday because he was hard-headed. I went into labor in the afternoon on Saturday, and he didn't show up till 10:02 on Sunday.
No.
But Lee and my husband at the time, John Clifton, were at the hospital with me. And Lee, according to John, took an overdose of his sleeping pills and was asleep in the hallway. And he needed to take him home. And I said, "Good, while you're at home, bring me this quilt." Well, that was on a Saturday night. And I never saw him again until Monday. And he was out doing drugs while his son was being.
He was a drug addict. All right.
Oh, they ended up putting police outside my room because he was calling, threatening to kidnap my son who wasn't born yet.
No. All right.
I mean,
now, last question, Vicky. Did you do your yoga?
No, I need to. I have not.
So we're doing it tomorrow. So we're scheduled.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yes, we're doing it tomorrow. I got to run into town tomorrow. I may have to get up at a reasonable hour, get that done.
Yeah.
I got stuff to mail, and since Scotty was Oh, so Tom gets a book and I don't, huh?
Well, tell him to write Desiree Peterson's book.
Oh God.
He's like, Vicky's riding me about Desiree Peterson, and
Oh.
I'm like, well, I go, she stole her tag team partner after she couldn't wrestle anymore, so I understand why she's pissed.
Oh no, I'm not really pissed. I'm aggravated because,
I guess nobody liked her.
well, she didn't make it easy. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
And obviously, by what she did, she's talked to him one time through a text, and now she's sending him good morning sunshine messages every morning.
That's all right. You know what? You know what? Tomorrow, send me a good morning sunshine message, and I'll be like, "Oh, Vicky's awake already." I'll send him a screenshot.
Now you're gonna make me have to get up early just to screw with him.
Yeah. Now, I'm really pushing him because that book, that Abby book, like I've seen the reviews on Amazon, and 3 out of 4 were negative.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and it was basically they said it seemed like a rush job, this and that, and some of it was, but I really don't want him to put out that hardcover until he gets the story.
300 pages. He needs
Not
300 pages.
He needs to be organized about like what I'm doing right now and doing everything in order and make sure dates are correct. He needs to get the important voids filled in, and one of those voids that he needs to get through Hannibal is to get Billy Graham's widow to shoot on why he wanted out of the WWE Hall of Fame when Abdullah went in. He's got to get that story. That
has to be in that book. I agree, and you need to stay on him. He has too much of a habit of adding so much to the plate that he can't hold up the plate.
Well, yeah, and he was telling everybody he was going to put this Judy book out until I told him before he did that podcast. I say, if you talk about that Judy book, you do not say that it's coming out in August. You do not say that. I go. You tell them tentatively I want it out in August, but we'll see what happens. He's only on chapter. He said, I go, how many words you got? Because I think I'm on chapter. I think like he doesn't know. Yeah,
right.
I know exactly what word I left off of. All right, he's
right.
I think I'm on chapter 6 or 7. All right, that's like the beginning of the book. I'm like, I'm already on chapter 2.
Right.
Of yours.
Yeah, so, well, and I agree with you. He's moving too fast. He's making his timeline too hard for any human to do what he wants to do in that amount of time.
He had plotted out 2 books without having one written, you know what I mean? Or one even, and I can see in that aspect why Abby and Malik were frustrated, because he was telling them, the book's going to be 300 pages. The book comes out, it was what,
159.
Yeah, right?
And now it's up to what, 240 something?
But then you got to go through and you got to count the pictures. That's something you have to look at. You know what I mean?
Well, see, and
up to 200, up to
212. The thing that pissed me off about my book is I had not even counted the pictures, and I had told John I do not want this to be your typical wrestling book where half of it's pictures and half of it's writing. And yet there's 20, not 23, there's 26 pages of pictures.
So the way we're going to do it is they're going to be scattered throughout. And if you want to put a few real pictures in there, but I'm trying to make this one big complete piece of art. So with the writing, my art, and then, I'm going to include people's stories, but I'm going to put them in context of the timeline. So when I talk to Terry, and I need you to throw him a line and say, hey, Tom wants to talk to you about that time that we crash coursed you in wrestling. That's the story I want out of him. I'm not going to push him on the romantic side of things. I'll let you fill in some of that, whatever you feel comfortable filling in. The rest we'll leave out. But, I don't want to push them on that, make them uncomfortable. I want that story. That story I think is a good story.
Yes, and that's a picture that I still have in my brain. I can still see Terry kneel down in a thinker's position, and I'm looking at him across the ring, and the big door is open. And at 75 degrees, I can still see the steam coming off his head.
Yeah, wait till you see this picture when it's done. It's gonna be perfect. I nailed it. It's him, Tully Blanchard's pulling him from the back, and the referee's on the side. You can't see all of that because I cropped it, so it's basically
Right.
him, kind of like I did with you in the Judy picture. You don't,
Right.
You know it's Judy. I know it's Judy. Everyone else just sees somebody pulling you from the arms from behind. So, but yeah. So that's the story I want from him. So if you want to start priming the pump, maybe I can hit him when we're down there, or I can do it another time because I'll be closer to when I need that. I'm saving Judy, obviously, for the WWE run, but you guys were also on the hill together, correct?
Yes.
So I can hit her on that too. And Velvet, obviously, I'm gonna hit her on the time in the WWE, and I'm not gonna bother with her on that story because I already have your perspective. And I'll have Carrie's perspective, but maybe I'll ask her, so I can throw a quote in there about that crash course.
Ask her about her and Leilani going into Moo's house and stealing chicken out of the freezer.
Oh yeah, I will. That sounds good.
It is. It's a sad story, but it's a funny story at the same time.
What's up, honey?
I'll say hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, baby girl. How are you today?
Hi.
Oh, Maisie, tell her what you would like for your bedroom when I come back from Louisiana. Do you remember?
No.
For your wall?
No.
Remember you told me you wanted one of her pictures with her signature on it for your wall to hang up?
Oh yeah, the Princess Victoria picture.
Miss Macy, I promise you, your dad will have a signed picture to you when he comes back, okay?
Say thank you.
Bye, baby girl.
All right. Have a good night, Vicky. I will see you tomorrow, all right?
Yes, dear.
All right. Take care. Make sure you don't forget to text me good morning. Avery, say good night. Or you're smelling your sister's feet. Say good night.
Good night, Avery.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock my time. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
You want to go outside?